Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Shriver, in your opening statement, you mentioned efforts to make it harder to fire career bureaucrats. Does retaining incompetent career bureaucrats for over 20 years benefit the American people?
No, Congressman. If there are performance issues with federal employees, those should be addressed.
Okay. Since you mentioned taking an increasingly data-driven approach to workforce management, can you tell me how many federal employees have been terminated for misconduct or poor performance since 2021?
Congressman, my understanding is that generally on a year-to-year basis, there is in the nature of 10 to 15,000 federal employees who are terminated for cause.
Okay, thank you. How often has an agency tried to fire or discipline an employee only for that decision to be overturned?
I don't have the statistics, sir. Certainly there are appeal rights depending on the type of action that are taken, and some decisions can be overturned if they're not adequately supported by the record.
Okay. It seems like the answer to how often federal employees should be allowed to telework is always, it depends. As the federal government's human capital expert, what exactly are you going to do to help different agencies define what the right amount of work of telework is?
So I think this is the heart of what we need to be talking about now, Congressman. So thank you very much for the question. We always have to be governed by what work arrangements are going to best advance the agency's mission. And that might be different depending on different jobs. I can tell you, Congressman, one example is the cybersecurity workforce across the country, whether you work in government or out of government, works a lot from home. And so if we were to require cybersecurity professionals to come into the office 5 days a week, I think we wouldn't be able to recruit the kind of workforce we need. There are other kinds of jobs, though. 54% of federal workers who never telework because the nature of the job requires them to do it on the work site. Then there's a whole group that's in between, and I think agencies need to keep working there to make sure they're getting it right, that those arrangements are driving good performance.
Thank you, Mr. Shriver. Mr. Chairman, I yield the rest of my time to my dear friend.